Good morning from New York City. How you do? Actually, good afternoon from New York City. I'm John Longstreth. Origin, Hate Eternal, Crater, Neurectomy, all these bands. Thank you very much for having me back. Thank you, Martin. There was a lot of questions that I don't know if I missed them or if I just lumped them incorrectly and you guys missed them. So here we are. We're back. This time we're in my actual drum cave behind my actual drum kit, and it's wonderful. Things have taken a bit of an upturn in New York City in comparison to other places, so we're all still being safe. I hope you're being safe. What I'm doing today is I've actually taken all the questions, printed them out, put them on paper so I can read them to you and answer the questions. In the lesson, we're going to cover, of course, we're going to cover, double stroke technique on the feet. We're going to cover some hand questions. How to sit behind the drum kit, very important. How to be cognizant of your posture. So you're not injuring yourself, and B, you're executing these cool drum parts that you've written for your band. Okay, cool. Next question is from Nico. Do you have any specific workout routines or general tips to share for developing double stroke bursts? Yes, I do. It's pretty simple, man. It's mostly 8th notes, 16th notes. I have a shuffle technique, kind of a heel-toe shuffle, which the point of that is to teach yourself how to boom, get that second note louder and how to control that second note. And it also, the double-ended point to that is you have to learn how to play a cool one-footed shuffle. And then the toe tap, which is really just setting your foot above the pedal and pop. So in developing the double strokes, it's a lot of 8th notes to 16th notes. So, like, really, to bore the crap out of you guys, I'm going to keep it really short, but it's really this. That's the main exercise. That exercise comes after things like this. I call this this is more of a toe tap exercise. It's tap only kind of, and it's really just foot is down, heels down. Sorry, toes are up, and that, and just being able to push down and get this lifting motion at the same time. And this works the front of the shin a lot, and it just really slows everything down and allows you to program how to do that. So you might that, and you also might really try and work kind of a hinge, kind of almost a teeter-totter, the ball of your foot. These are exercises that you do really slow. And you want to set a click track, and you want to do this for a good 3 minutes straight. You're going to screw up. You're going to do this. And it's important. You have to muscle through some of this. And it's uncomfortable and it sucks, but trust me, take time. And then, of course, and as you get better at this, you can see that it's like, it can be finicky, You're eventually looking for this. And this is where that cool Pantera Psycho Holiday, groove fits in, And, you spend 3 minutes on each side of that, and not only are you developing the muscle memory needed to really learn how to pop that second note out, you're also getting a really cool shuffle beat. Who doesn't want a really cool shuffle beat? As far as like double stroke bursts, again, this goes back to my 8ths to 16ths. When you've been able to make this motion, this is where it's really good to learn how to like drop the heel into 8th notes. As I kind of preach this, but learn this movement. So all you're doing is just learning how to drop this heel stroke in the middle of the eighth notes. And then you put it on the left side and you get it on the upbeat. And as you're learning how to do that, all of a sudden you have cool groupings of threes. And you just simply cross over onto both pedals. And you got groupings of threes with a hi-hat scoop. Pretty neat, huh? And yeah, just as like bursts are concerned, you know, work threes, fives, and sevens. This question, two-part question from John. Hi, John. Hi, John. In 2003, we were in Oklahoma when you were touring with Exhumed. I was in the other touring band, Epicurean, and opened for you guys. Back then, you played Axis and had a foot stopper or something like that on your pedals. I believe you used it somehow for playing heels down single strokes. You also had your kick pretty far out. You were fast as hell then, so I have a 2 or 3 part question for you. What inspired you to transition to double strokes, and how much work did you have to put in to get comfortable playing live? Okay, well, John, thank you. Yes, for the longest time I was playing heels down single strokes, and I had my legs way out, and the problem is right around 230, it was about as fast as I could get because I was using my whole leg, and I was getting really loud single strokes, really consistent single strokes, a lot of beater angle coming back, but it was so much leg. And yeah, the way I had it, I was sitting up really high with my legs way out, and it just kind of became weird to set up on stage because I had a real deep footprint. Because, you know, not only that, I've got 14-inch kick drums now, 14 deep, but I had 20-inch kick drums back then, 20 deep. And so, like, I would take up the entire stage. As I used to play, I got to adjust my stool here. Like so. And I would actually have the tripod forward, and I was back here, and I would lean the stool back and get that motion. And there's constant downforce with this. So it's kind of neat like that. So all I was really doing was lifting and then just dropping it back down. But it burned up a lot of energy in the legs. And also a lot of it had to do with just as we went on, Paul kept writing faster and faster stuff. So yeah, I saw a couple of people, not metal guys, but some other drummers doing double strokes. And I'm like, that's a killer idea. So I just kind of went with that. It took me roughly 3 months of 4 to 5 days, 3 hours of practice immediately after work, going to my rehearsal room and just kind of working on this technique that I sort of fumbled into one day. And so I just did that, and I focused on a few common death metal songs, and a couple of common rock songs that helped me develop just really basic 4/4 rock timing, and that's kind of where it went. I had to do an entire tour of kind of fumbling through it and finding out how to do it live on stage in front of people with adrenaline, because that's a whole different thing. You can practice in your room by yourself as much as possible. But when it comes to getting out and doing this thing in front of crowds, in front of people, 7 nights a week for 2 months, 3 months on end, that's a different story. And all you can do there is just play live.
Do you want to know how you can watch this full lesson? Just sign up at www.drumtechniqueacademy.net. Drumming, as you know, is a lot like gravity. All it takes is a little push.